This meeting will come to order. Please stand for the invocation by Councilman Carlson and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Tabor.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to gather here as the Parish Council and citizens of Lafayette Parish. I pray that tonight you would lead us and guide us in everything that we say and everything that we would do, that it would be what's in the best for the entire parish and would ultimately glorify you. Father, we thank you for tonight. Be with us tonight here in this place. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We welcome you to the Lafayette Parish Council meeting. As presiding officer and chair, I would like to make the following announcements. This is a public hearing. To address the council on any item on this agenda, please fill out the speaker card or form and submit it to our assistant clerk prior to the call of the agenda item. And again, I repeat, prior to the call of the agenda item, or you will not be given the opportunity to speak. Staff assistance is available if needed. Items for submission to the council should be handed to our assistant clerk of the council, Mr. Joseph Garden-Wiltz, seated to my left. When addressing the council, please state your name and title for the official record. The 3-minute rule is in effect. Please, no debating or confrontational statements will be allowed. Any interruption of this lawful assembly is prohibited and will not be tolerated. The front row to my left is for media only. Food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium. Please silence all phones and electronic devices at this time. Meeting procedures are by resolution and not Robert's Rules of Order. All documents with reference to meetings can be found on the LCG website. And finally, if the council encourages your involvement in boards or commissions, if interested, please call 291-8800. A couple of chair announcements. In light of the governor's indoor mask mandate, which takes effect on tomorrow, citizens physically attending today's meetings are strongly encouraged to wear their mask that cover both the nose and the mouth while inside the council auditorium. Again, we strongly encourage. There will be a public hearing for citizen input on the budget at a special joint council meeting at 5:15 on Tuesday, August 17th, 2021, in the council auditorium at 705 West University Avenue, Lafayette, Louisiana, 70506. Councilman A.B. Rubin will not be in attendance for this evening's council meetings. He has come into direct contact with COVID-19 individuals over the past few days. And in pursuant to LCG's COVID-19 protocols, he has been advised to not attend. And we do wish him the best. Item number 13, J044-2021, final adoption, Lafayette Airport Commission reorganization. Legal has proposed an amendment with the recommended clarification in Section 5A. I would like to wish a happy birthday to Ronald Clark with the Lafayette Police Department, council meeting security, which he will celebrate on August 11th. Any council announcements? Mr. Mayor President, you have the floor for your executive report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The only thing on the agenda I have is the budget to actual comparison of major parish funds for June 2021 preliminary. We have Director Toops behind me if you have any questions. And also want to thank everybody for being in attendance today. Thank you for taking the time to come and share your thoughts. It's very valuable. I know I take it very personal in a good way, in the sense that it gets a chance to get a thumb on the pulse and hear you. And so I appreciate that. Everybody's busy, and I know the council members feel the same way. Also, as our council chair announced, our governor did issue an executive order, as we all know, he updated his emergency order. It does include a mask mandate indoors if you are if you cannot be more than 6 feet apart, which goes in effect tomorrow. And we're going to go ahead and the administration honor that starting today. As you notice, I'm more than 6 feet apart. So in the joint meeting, I will put my mask on because I'll have a council member right here. But hey, look, let's be good neighbors. We do lead the nation. I mean, these are facts, okay? I trust our healthcare providers. We lead the nation per capita in COVID-19 cases in the variant. I want us to listen to our healthcare providers. You know, I do trust them. I trust the science. And we are going to do everything that we can to keep our people safe. And I know our two chiefs aren't in here, but I'll be talking to them soon. If you recall last year during the Safe Shop initiatives where we had our police officers and our firefighters go to each business to see what they need, see any kind of resources they need, we will be bringing those services back. I do very much appreciate our first responders, but we have more than 30,000 masks here at City Parish Hall that we will be willing to distribute to businesses that are in need to be in compliance and to make sure that they're doing everything they can to keep their patrons safe. But whoever's listening at home, whoever's in the audience, let's just all remember this. We all want to help people. We want to help each other, and we want to help our community. We should all trust our doctors. Forget what you hear the last 18 months. Forget what you hear any politician saying something or anybody on the news or anything like that in the national news. But everybody here has someone they trust in the medical field. Go and talk to them. Ask them questions, whatever questions you have, and make your decision based on science and based on someone you trust that's good for you, that keeps you safe, that keeps your family safe, and that keeps our community safe. So I appreciate you again, once again, for being here, and that is all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor President. Resolutions. Again, this is a public hearing, and speaker sheets are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 3-minute rule does apply. Ms. Cindy, please read.
Parish Resolution 10-2021, a resolution of the Lafayette Parish Council granting design exceptions for the Habsburg Lane Bridge Replacement Project.
Need a motion, second. Been moved by Councilman Carlson, seconded by Councilman Tabor. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Call for the vote.
District 1? Yes. District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Resolution 11-2021, a resolution of the Lafayette Parish Council for the final acceptance of State Project H012304 regarding the LCG Road Overlay Program.
Need a motion, second. Been moved by Councilman Tabor, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Call for the vote.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved.
We move to ordinances for final adoption. Before we do that, Cindy, Joseph, it looks like we're not voting on the screens.
Okay.
For some reason.
I got it.
Okay, I know it's the vote, voice vote that counts, but for public. Okay, ordinances for final adoption. Again, this is a public hearing, and speaker sheets are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 3-minute rule does apply. Ms. Cindy, please read.
Parish Ordinance 29-2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council declaring the Willow Street Correctional Facility Project a public necessity and authorizing the acquisition of the necessary rights-of-way, immovable property, and other property rights requisite to the construction of said project, either on an amicable basis or through the use of the expropriation process if necessary.
Need a motion, second?
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Nakhan, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
Yes, sir. We have 10 speakers, the first of which is Mr. Elroy Broussard.
Mr. Broussard? Either one's fine. Mr. Wiltz, you want to give notice to the next speaker so he or she can prepare?
Ms. Ethel Senegal will follow Mr. Broussard.
Good afternoon. My fellow elected officials. My name is Elroy Broussard. I'm Lafayette Parish School Board Representative, and I'm here to oppose the acquisition of the facilities to build basically in my front lawn. We all got an obligation as elected officials to make decisions based on the needs of the community. Although you are representing the parish of Lafayette, your vote, your concern, and your manner of vote represent all of Lafayette. And the quality of life that is going to be on Willow Street in my front lawn is not a quality of life that we all enjoy. We're looking to build a facility, a jail, next door to a church, across the street from a church, across the street from one of the best schools that Lafayette City or Parish have to offer in J. Wallace James, a school that reflects the way Lafayette should be raised. We've got a battle, whether we be number 1 or 50. If you appeal to number 1, that means we've got the highest incarceration rate in the country. Makes us number 1. Number 50 says we've got the lowest educational rating in the country, in Louisiana. People that I represent is trying to change those numbers. On track by 5, Burt to 3. We're looking for funds to build a new Lafayette High, a new North Side, a new Count Crow Heights, a new Truman Elementary, a new Prairie Elementary. And all of these is to make Lafayette better. The jailhouse does not. It does not. The facilities are outdated. The recreation in the jailhouse is outdated. We need to upgrade that, but we cut the budget for parks and recreation. We're looking to make the comfort of a new ceiling mattress. The air conditioning is not working well. But the city opposed a tax for us to make sure that our kids leave the Butler building to go to restrooms in the elements. So our priorities are different. Do we remain number 1 with the crime element, or do we work to make education number 1? Flip those numbers. That should be our goal. Flipping the numbers from the 50 to number 1. High correlation crime rate in Lafayette is because of lack of education. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Ethel Senegal. She'll be followed by Pearlie Alfred. And Ms. Alfred, you could also make your way up.
You can come to this mic, Ms. Senegal. Over here.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Ethel Senegal, and I'm from the North College subdivision on the north side. And I am voicing my opinion for the relocation of the jailhouse. I'm in opposition of having the jailhouse relocated into our neighborhood. That will cause problem. I feel that it's not appropriate to have a jailhouse in a neighborhood, right in your backyard. My question to each one of the parish council is why isn't another property looked at? Why is that particular property necessary for you to take a jail from downtown and move into my neighborhood? Not only would that bring my value property down, but it also cause more loitering on the north side. Not only that would happen, but you also would have the crime rate going up. I feel crime rate would go up into the north side. Why everything has to be moved to the north side? We looking at there's other places that a jail could be relocated or put where it won't bring detrimental to a neighborhood. You have elderly people. You have handicapped people. You have a school. You have churches. not to say that one inmate would escape, but if one inmate do escape, what do you want to have a person be a statistic of probably getting killed, probably getting robbed? You have people staying all over the place. So think about this. Would you want that on your side of town? Would you want that in your backyard? And think about this. You have elderly parents. Would you want that in their backyard? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Pearlie Alfred, followed by Devlin Sampe. And Devlin Sampe, you could make your way up to the mic, please.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I am Pearlie Alfred, a former employee of LCG for 34 years. I am opposed to the acquisition of the property on Willow Street. I would ask that you tell us, advise us, have you all looked at any other locations other than the Willow Street? Have you considered putting this facility, acquiring land for this facility in rural areas? Have you looked in small towns? I agree with some of the things Mr. Elroy and the lady before me said. It's a neighborhood, guys. It's a neighborhood. And the people in the neighborhood, in our community, are attempting to enhance the community. How will a correctional facility improve our neighborhood? If we are going to struggle, fight, improve, then we ask you to not bring a facility, as she say, that will lower the value and lower the morale in our community. We're doing everything we can to improve our community. Help us. Again, are there areas in your districts, each one of you, that facility can go to in the rural areas? Would it not be an economic improvement in the rural areas? Not in the city. Right now, the jailhouse is currently downtown. There's no resident around there. There's no school around there, guys. There's no church around there, guys. Why bring it to Willow Street in our community? Consider rural areas. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Devlin Sampe, followed by Mr. Leroy Barrington. Mr. Barrington, you could make your way up, please.
Good evening, Council. How you doing?
Just fine. Thank you.
And everyone else. Yeah, my main thing, I kind of touch on a lot of points that they're saying as well, is that, you know, I'm just saying, how would y'all feel about having such a facility around y'all loved ones, even y'all home? You know, I don't care if it's like 5 miles away, 2 miles away, it's still. And like they say, you're around churches, you're around a school, a major interstate. Let's say somebody gets out of jail, you know, they have to shut down the school. That's a whole day for these kids, no learning, no nothing. You know, the north side, all we're asking for is the same respect that y'all, all the other districts have, you know. We want something to be, you know, bring growth to our side of town. You know, growth, not a jail. What is that going to do? You know, I guess a lot of y'all maybe feel like, well, the north side, that's nothing but shootings, crimes, all that. But that's not the case. We have a lot of other people. We have elderly people. We have families. We have people that, I love my side of town, I must say. I love Lafayette. Not just my district. I love all of Lafayette. We want y'all to feel the same way we feel. Let's not bring this into our neighborhood. You know, the property value, like you say, we really don't have a lot on the north side. If you pass to the north side, if any of y'all pass, y'all see everything is dying. But as people, we go fight to make sure that the north side does not die. You know, I'm standing with all these people, and I'm just asking y'all to hear us out. Let us know. You know, please, let's not bring this on our side of town, please. I know they have a lot of property around town we can bring there. You know, and I don't want to bring, oh, we could put it here, we could put it there. It's not a racial thing. It's just about equality and respect. Respect the north side just like everybody else's district is being respected. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Mr. Leroy Barrington, followed by Ms. Samantha Jackson.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Leroy Barrington. I live at 107 Scepter Circle, that's Lafayette. And I'm opposed to acquiring the property to build. I think I've spoke, and again, like everybody say, you wouldn't want that in your neighborhood or close to your neighborhood. You have property where the parish owns property in Dugas Road. It used to be the prison farm. There's land out there that you could use. There's land out by the airport. If you're going to build a brand new facility, then take it and build it somewhere. You know, I had an idea. Why not St. Landry, Acadia, Vermilion, Lafayette, St. Martinville, all join together and find a decent piece of property and build this facility. And you share the cost. The parish cannot afford the money to build this prison, so they're going to have to up the taxes, for which it won't be done for a prison, because the number one priority for everyone is drainage now. For the first time, I had my street to flood. In 49 years, I've never had that problem. So something is going on. Drainage is number one. A jailhouse is about, on the list to me, is about number 8. There's other things, fire protection, police protection. We want all of this. And I just ask you guys to consider, if you really want to put a jail up, look at the parishes around and see if we can get together and build one. There's a lot of complaints that we have. There's a lot of things that we have and that we need. We need, if you're going to offer, I know a lot of people, businesses come in and say, we want to set up a business. And where do you set them? Way on Ambassador Carefree and Pinhook and Kali Saloon Road, but never out in the black neighborhoods. We need restaurants. We need movie theaters. We need all the things that go. But if you want to make Lafayette a real good place to live, you got to start off by helping everybody, not just one group. And people that come to town, they don't see the south side. What do they see on Interstate 10? They see the north. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Samantha Jackson, followed by Anna Nolan. Samantha Jackson. All right, we'll move on to Anna Nolan, and Anna Nolan will be followed by Cynthia Francis.
Ms. Nolan, over.
Hello, my name is Anna Nolan, and I'm here to represent the North Side. I'm a wife of a 20-year veteran who served in the military, who don't deserve a jailhouse on Willow Street. And I'm here on behalf of our children. I would like to say that we would like the same thing that's on the south side, some of the same things on the north side, because we are close to I-10. And when people come and drive in on the north side, we would like to have the same qualities as the south side. We don't want a jailhouse on Willow, bringing our property value down. We don't deserve that. There's property out in the countries where nobody live, in cornfields that people's not even cropping anymore. I would like y'all to think about looking at properties like that to build a facility instead of in our neighborhood near There's apartments with a lot of children there, churches, just so many elderly lives on the north side. And we're asking today that you would consider another option for a jailhouse on the outskirts of Lafayette and not on our north side. Offer us better things on the north side. Thank y'all for your time today.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Anna Nolan, followed by Cynthia Francis.
Wait, Ms. Nolan just spoke. I think it's Ms. Francis, right?
Yes, my name is,
Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
good evening. My name is Cynthia Francis, and I am a resident of North College Heights subdivision. I am also in opposition of acquiring land for this jail, for the very reasons that everyone before me has expressed. It's not too many other reasons I can say that they did not say. Again, they reiterated about the churches, the aging population, the 3 neighborhoods that will be very, very close to this jail. As a matter of fact, a quarter of a mile from there. And most importantly, the elementary school, where children will be attending all day. You have apartment complexes where children will be residing. And so I am opposed to this. And I do know that, as some of the people before me said, you have unincorporated lands that can be acquired, and pretty close to the city limits. You have adjacent to Walmart off of Pinhook, which used to be, I think it was a Winn-Dixie at one time. Across from there, there's a huge piece of property that is not near a school, that is not near residences. So that's one option. So again, my vote is no. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Mr. Jonathan Washington, followed by Narika Ross.
Good afternoon.
Good
I'm Jonathan Washington, resident of Royal Town Garden subdivision. I get it. I was a former correctional deputy with Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office, so I understand the need for a new facility. The conditions there were horrible, and that was 5 to 7 years ago. I don't think buildings tend to age in a good way, so I get that there's a need for a new facility. I am opposed to it being off of Willow Street, and there's several reasons from working there I can say why. First thing is, you bring a jail off of Willow Street. First thing I can think business-wise that's going to follow are going to be the bail bondsmen that are around the one downtown now. I don't think bail bondsmen are what anybody on the north side has in mind when they think of bringing better businesses to our community. Another thing you're looking at when you bring the jail off of Willow is you're looking at what we used to call the frequent flyers, the offenders that were suffering with mental illness, with drug addiction, homeless, guys that were going to jail, and even more so now that the city is enforcing the vagrancy laws that are constantly going in and out of jail. They don't have anywhere to go, so they tend to stay nearby, which is why if you go downtown, you'll see a lot of the same gentlemen that we would see on a monthly basis coming in and out of the facility. I would prefer not to see those same guys brought over to our community just because it's convenient. And I understand the cost is better for you there, but ultimately, if we're going to be the one footing the bill with the millage that comes out to fund the jail and the care after, we would prefer it not be on our side of town. I mean, we're looking at building a facility in a community that has a lack of trust in law enforcement, and building a jail in the very community that feels, historically, we have been disproportionately incarcerated through laws in this city. So we would request that you find different property to put it, even if we need to fit a higher bill to do so. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Next speaker is Narika Ross, followed by Clancy Ratliff. Clancy Ratliff, you could make your way up to the mic, please.
May I take off my mask?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Narika Ross, and I'm a proud Army veteran and resident of the north side of Lafayette. And I would like to begin by sharing the results of various studies that were conducted. And in these studies, they found that when you build a jail in a community, it will depreciate the value of those residents that lives around it. So not only will it affect those residents, it's going to affect my kids. Generational wealth, because now our property is worth less than you guys on the south side of town. And my other concern is the safety of those students and those residents that will live near that school and go to school near that jail. And not only that, I'm also concerned about the activity, the traffic, and the people that jail will bring to that community. Because the safety should be the most important thing on you guys' mind. Out of all the places you can place this jail, why not place it in your backyard, in your community, or place it in River Ranch? But it's not going to happen, obviously, right? But the Vera Institute of Criminal Justice did a study, and they showed that whenever they build a jail to address overcrowding, it does not work. I know that's funny, but building a jail to address overcrowding or any other stuff you might use to, oh, we need a jail because we predict this amount of people being incarcerated or whatever, even that's also proven not to be true. There's no actual scientific method to actually predict the amount of people that might be incarcerated. And there's also another funny study that was done. In the state of Utah, Salt Lake City, they spent $135 million to build a 2,000-bed jail to replace their old 870-bed jail. And that jail was overcrowded in 21 days. Because you know why? These new jails you guys are building, you guys are going to outsource. Well, those inmates you outsource to local jurisdictions, you're going to get them back. And in addition to it, you're going to house inmates from other jurisdictions and cost them charge them a fee, right, to benefit your pockets. And then, essentially, you're turning people into profit. And they also saw, whenever they build a jail in a community, they saw a 27% increase in the amount of people being incarcerated, despite not having an increase in crime. I know, that's crazy, because they saw a direct correlation in their policies they will put in place. So even though there's not an increase in crime, they saw a 27% increase in the amount of people being incarcerated because they implement policies that favor them like an incentive. So things that were fines became misdemeanors, and things that were misdemeanors now require jail time. So not only are you affecting our generational wealth, you're putting our kids and future kids in jails because you're turning people into profit. So I do not support this jail in my community. And I have more statistics to show this, but you're lucky the time is out. Have a blessed one.
Next speaker.
Final speaker is Clancy Ratliff.
I am opposed to this jail on Willow Street for a variety of reasons. Certainly in support of people who live in North Lafayette. I attended a town hall recently with hearings from a lot of those residents, and one mother said that the North Side needs a museum. They need a sports complex like those in Karen Crow and Youngsville. They don't need a jail. You know, it's investing in future generations. considerations. But I will speak primarily as a parent of children who have gone through J. Wallace James, and I can also tell you that other J. Wallace James parents are staunchly opposed to this jail as well, as you would expect. I have 3 children. 2 of them will be starting at David Thibodeau STEM Magnet Academy this August, and that's too close to the jail as well, in my opinion, and same with Turlings High School. But J. Wallace James is primarily affected, and I still have one child who has 2 more years there, my youngest. J. Wallace James, if you don't know how it works, it's what was called a school of choice, now called Magnet Academies. People have to apply in the lottery. They have to choose a first choice and a second choice in the lottery if they don't want to have their children in their zone school. I'm someone, I'll go ahead and say I'm zoned for the Woodvale, I'm in the Woodvale district. We could afford private school if we wanted to send our kids to private school, but we wanted to send our kids to public school. And I had a decision to make whether to send my oldest to J. Wallace James or to Woodvale. I toured both of the schools, and I opted for J. Wallace James, and I've loved it there. But I can tell you that if this jail is there, and like Jonathan Washington said, there will be people, kind of frequent flyers around there, there'll be lockdowns. That's going to go up, I can tell you that for sure. People will not be as likely to want to list J. Wallace James in the lottery. White parents like me with means will be less likely to send their children to J. Wallace James. And I really believe that if this jail goes up and if you vote to build this jail, you are sealing the fate of a school. And it's not worth it. So please don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we had 2 citizens who either did not wish to speak or who turned in their card after the call of the agenda item who opposed this item. And we also had 20 citizens to call into the council office in opposition to this ordinance.
Let the record reflect. Mr. Nakam, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank y'all for coming out. Several of you had some great questions, and I'm going to try to answer some of them as best as I can with the facts. First off, my kids go to J. Wallace James. It's a great school off of Willow Street. There's currently a sheriff's facility there now, and as long as I've been dropping them off there every morning, it's been pretty safe. I think the sheriff does a great job with that facility there. A couple of you brought up the fact that there's a school across the street from the proposed site. It's actually not across the street. It's across, but a good ways down. There is a church. However, no one has seemed to ask the questions of what's currently downtown and what's next to the current jail. And I have to tell you, there is St. John Cathedral Church, Cathedral Carmel School, First Baptist Church, First Baptist Elementary School, Ascension Elementary, and Ascension Episcopal Church, all within 1 block from the current jail. As long as I've been on the council, as long as I've been in Lafayette Parish, I have not heard of any inmate breaking out of the current jail and entering those facilities or going into those schools and harming those children. That's facts. I base my decision based on facts. This is not about race. This is not about north, south, east, west. The Barringtons know me. I played ball with their kids. It's not a fun decision. It's not an easy decision, but the facts and why maybe this location was looked at was because it currently has a facility there. The sheriff currently runs programs through there, and to put it anywhere else doesn't make sense because everything would be in one location. Cameron Parish off of Highway 90 has an industrial right off of Highway 90, I-10. Everything is there. It's all centrally located. It makes it convenient. It makes it easier for the process, the due process. Everything's there. I think the sheriff in that facility would be well represented there. I haven't heard of an outbreak in Lafayette Parish of a prisoner getting out and actually going into schools. J. Wallace James has been shut down several times when my kids have gone there because of other, someone in the area has gotten out. So, I mean, there's currently schools and churches way more downtown that they could harm and get into compared to where this is at. It just makes sense from the fact that you currently have a shared facility there. It would be adjacent to it. It would be easier for transportation. It would be easier to control that environment and protect that area. The other thing is, you know, it's one of those things that why would we want to go put it in a cornfield and have more expenses? In the long run, this is actually going to save the taxpayers money, because if you built one further out, that's more cost to operate and transfer inmates in and out of those programs. That's the long haul. That's the long look. The other thing we're not talking about right now is this is just a future site. That does not mean that it's going to be built there. That's just giving us the opportunity to secure a future spot. Does that mean it's going to get built in the next year, 10 years? No. It might take 20 years. You know, we don't know that, but I can assure you this location wasn't picked based on color, based on poverty, based on north side versus south side, east versus west, or downtown. If you just look at the facts that are out there, there are way more schools, there are residents that live downtown, and the property downtown did not go down in value because of the jail next door. Try to go price some property downtown right now. It's expensive. And it has nothing to do with the fact that the jail is there. The jail has been there for many years, and the taxpayers of Lafayette Parish voted on taxes for a 2-story jail, and we built a 5-story jail. Are we concerned of building a new jail and perhaps overcrowding, like the young lady said? Absolutely, but I don't think that's the sheriff's intent. Right now, the jail is not popular, and drainage is ahead of that, because that's what you see and feel every day. But behind the line, the parish is bleeding every day because we have a outdated facility. We're constantly throwing money at it, and we're robbing from a courthouse complex fund just to meet the state mandates. I mean, it's not going to be your priority, because I'm going to say that the majority of the people follow the law. And it's hard to get someone to support moving and relocating a new jail and spending money on a jail, because we all abide by the law. So we feel like, hey, that don't apply to me. I do my job. I follow the law. I make sure I'm doing all the right things. But unfortunately, the government has to have a location for these people. We have to incarcerate them. We have to put them in programs. We have to rehab them. We have to feed them. We have to clothe them. These are all things that we're obligated to do. And unfortunately, it's killing us on the back end financially. That jail needs so many improvements. It's outdated. So, you know, I just want the public and the media to know that the location was picked for those facts. The fact that it has less schools around it, less subdivisions, has less of a chance of it being a problem, because the sheriff is currently right there. All of his people and his programs are right there. Security is going to be right there. It also makes sense because other parishes are putting them all together. And so I mean, I understand the concern. I do. But it just makes sense based upon those facts. And I know it's not going to make everybody happy. I'm just telling you how I came about my decision and about what I've studied and what I've looked at. And the facts are there's schools downtown, there's residents downtown, and there hasn't been any break-ins, there hasn't had any school robbings, any shootings, and the property value has not decreased downtown. And if those are your concerns, I can assure you that if you go downtown and you ask the people that live there and you go to those schools, Catholic school, Baptist school, Episcopal, I mean, there is 3 or 4 schools and churches right there. So That is not my concern. My concern is that, it is my concern, but at the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is it didn't happen downtown with double the amount of schools and churches. And now this facility here is going to be, and it's not looking to be a 5-story jail. If I have to put my input, I would say build a 1-story jail that we can afford. Don't go build a Taj Mahal, but at the same time, we want to make it where we can take care of all of those state mandates. And again, this does not mean that the jail is going to be built this year, next year. You got to have funding. It's just a way to secure a future site. And if it starts coming up of a conversation of what the jail looks like and the public comes out and at that point, then maybe something else comes available. It's not set in stone. All it's doing is securing us a future spot. Again, that's all I got to say. But Cameron Parish has the same facility off of Highway 90. Willow is an industrial zone. There is less residents off of Willow compared to downtown. There's more schools, more churches. It just makes sense from operational standpoint of running the programs, and eventually it'll save taxpayer money on operations. That's all I got to say.
Excuse me.
We're going to address mental health there too, and we can pursue that.
Please have her removed, please. Please have her removed. Please, security. Listen, we intend to listen to all. We're going to extend all courtesies to each and every one of you, and we expect each and every one of you to extend that same courtesy to us. So let's do it with respect. We will not tolerate these kind of outbursts, or you will be escorted out. Okay? We can have a civil discussion, and that's what we're trying to have at this point. Councilman Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hold on. No.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to kind of echo some of the same points that Councilman Nakhan said, and also kind of give everyone how I came about my decision. 2 weeks ago, I think, Mr. Barentine, you spoke, and you and I spoke the next day for about half an hour. And I went and drove around the facility that we're looking, or the property that we're looking at shortly after that, just to, again, look at it, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. And I went back and drove around the property yesterday, again, just to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. And I understand everyone's concerns, and I think they are valid concerns. But let me speak to a few of those things really quick. One, this is, if you drive around the facility or the property, the proposed facility, this is not in someone's front yard or backyard, like it was said, or across the street from a school, or next door to a church. There are schools and neighborhoods and churches in the area, but those, J. Wallace James, I measured. I'm a numbers guy. I want to see it. J. Wallace James is half a mile away. I think Councilman Nakhan made a great point. There are 4 schools, private schools, that are far closer than half a mile away to the current correctional facility. And Lafayette Middle is 0.6 of a mile away, so roughly the same distance away. You have far more, the facility or the property on one side is bordered by the sheriff's facility with over 100 inmates already currently there. And when the sheriff was running the work release program, there was over 300 inmates there. When I looked, it's an industrial park on one side, Willow Street on another, the sheriff's facility on another, and in the back, it's another commercial road with commercial buildings and other property for sale before you ever encounter or potentially encounter another neighborhood. So I get the proximity to neighborhoods. Unfortunately, we live in a small parish. There's very few properties that are of substantial distance away from a school or a neighborhood. And then when you evaluate those properties, as Councilman Nakhan said, the cost becomes astronomical to transport and maintain those types of facilities, whereas the sheriff already has resources and personnel in a facility next door. Also, my understanding, there's some wetlands concerns with the property towards the back, and so we wouldn't even be able to develop in the areas that are closest to the neighborhoods. It would create a buffer between people, and like Councilman Carlson. Councilman Nakien said, we're talking about building a one-story jail. That's what the sheriff recommended whenever we met with him. Not a 5-story jail, something that we can create buffer zones between, that it would be difficult to recognize that it is a jail from the street. This is not something that we want to prioritize. I wish we were talking about roads and drainage. And unfortunately, we are mandated by the state to have a jail and provide for that jail. Just since I've taken office, I haven't been here nearly as long as Councilman Nakam, but just since I've been here, we've allocated over $3 million just to repairing an antiquated facility, redoing plumbing, Sally Port, elevators, all those things. I mean, the list goes on, and that's just to maintain what we've got, not to mention that we have wings of the jail that are structurally unsound, that we can't house any prisoners in. So I get people's concerns. I'm just saying that we've evaluated and looked at all of those options and saying, you know what? We've got to do something, and this is the best fit that we've seen for that. Of course, you got the sheriff's facility, you have the 911 center directly across the street that was just completed. I understand the concerns, but I do feel that this is the best location for this facility, and that just for the record, I want people to recognize this. I wanted to know, are we going to put children in our schools at additional risk? So I talked to the warden today, and in 10 years, they've had 3 people escape from the current correctional facility. One of those people that escaped was due to the lack of security measures that we have in place with an enclosed Sally Port. So that would be corrected with an updated jail. So you're talking about 2 people in 10 years, and in the 35-year history, all she could find were that there had been 5 people that had escaped, and they were immediately apprehended in the last 35-year history of the jail. Again, I don't want to see one person escape from jail, but to Councilman Nakian's point, there is no evidence that we see that having a facility in this close of proximity to businesses, schools, and residential areas has a significant impact on the crime in that area. And so that's really just how I arrived at the decision that I'm going to make tonight.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments from council? Then let's vote.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 33, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to sell certain surplus property.
Cindy, excuse me. Please leave quietly. We're going to continue with our meeting.
Parish Ordinance 33, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to sell certain surplus property located adjacent to Cooley Mine Cutoff Canal that is no longer needed for public purposes, and to provide for matters related thereto, and to amend the fiscal year 2021 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by budgeting the sale proceeds of $401,355 to the Lafayette Parish General Fund.
Hold a second. Chair will entertain a motion in a second. Been moved by Councilman Nakan, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
Glenn Edwards, only if you all have questions.
Any questions for Mr. Edwards? Then let's vote.
District 4,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 34, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 operating and capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by authorizing the use of parish general fund balance in the amount of $10,000 for sidewalk entrance repair and appropriating within the EO Coroner's Office.
Been moved by Councilman Nakhan, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Let's vote.
District 1? Yes. District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 35, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council declaring the Bayou Vermilion Flood Control Cooley-Ildacon project a public necessity and authorizing the acquisition of the necessary rights-of-way, immovable property, and other property rights requisite to the construction of said project, either on an amicable basis or through the use of the expropriation process if necessary.
Need a motion second. Been moved by Councilman Tabor, seconded by Councilman Nakhan. Any council discussion? Any public comments?
No, sir.
Let's vote.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1? Yes. The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 36, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by adjusting the manning tables and increasing the hourly pay rate of 4 labor foreman 3 positions within the Drainage Department.
Need a motion second. Been moved by Councilman Nakhan, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Yes. Councilman Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sidra, just to clarify, I know we've struggled in keeping some great people in the Drainage Department just because they can make significantly more in the private sector. Is this correcting that or addressing that so we can keep those good people that we have and making their salaries more equitable compared to what they make outside of working for LCG? I heard you. You
Okay.
are now.
Yeah, thank you for asking. You're exactly correct, and I'm glad you brought it up. There are some new civil service rules that do allow us to do more market rate adjustments so that we can be more competitive, and this is exactly as you described.
All right. I was on the phone with the mayor president a couple weeks ago, and I said, look, we've got to do whatever we got to do. We can't keep losing people and then wondering why we can't get projects done. He said, I'm glad that you think that. In a couple of weeks, it'll be coming before you guys. So I'm glad to see that we'll be able to keep some good people, especially once they reach labor for that position and labor foreman 3, and we're not training them and then they leave and then we're
And in
starting
the
all over.
Drainage Department, so
That's right.
asking for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Sidra, did you still need the floor? Are you good? Okay. Okay. Any further council discussion? Mr. Wills, any public comment?
No, sir.
Let's vote.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 37, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the non-warranty donation of that property located at 1217 South Philspan Road to Acadiana Needs, a qualified nonprofit pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 472205.
Need a motion second. Been moved by Councilman Tabor, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion? Any public comments?
No, sir.
Let's vote.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3? Yes. The motion to adopt is approved.
Joint ordinances for final adoption. This is a public hearing, and speaker sheets are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 3-minute rule does apply. Cindy, please read.
Joint Ordinance 44, 2021, a joint ordinance of the Lafayette City Council and the Lafayette Parish Council, amending Joint Ordinance 49, 2020, reorganizing the Lafayette Airport Commission by adjusting the appointment to the board.
I need a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance. It has been moved by Councilman Carlson, seconded by Councilman Tabor. Just as a note, legal has proposed an amendment to make the recommended clarification in sections 5A. I need a motion and second from the council to amend. Been motioned by Councilman Tabor, seconded by Councilman Nakam. Any council discussion on the amendment? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment on the amendment?
No, sir.
I'll call for the vote from the council to amend.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
The motion to amend is approved.
Council discussion on the ordinance as amended. Not hearing any. Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Then I call for a vote from council to adopt as amended.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
The motion to adopt as amended is approved. Joint Ordinance 49, 2021, a joint ordinance of the Lafayette City Council and the Lafayette Parish Council, amending the fiscal year 2021 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by reappropriating the amount of $28,000 from Bridge Repairs Parish into gas utility vehicles new to.
Need a motion, second. Been moved by Councilman Nakam, seconded by Councilman Tabor. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Call for the vote.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Joint Ordinance 47, 2021, a joint ordinance of the Lafayette City Council and the Lafayette Parish Council, authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to enter into a traffic signal maintenance agreement between the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government and the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for traffic signal maintenance by increasing revenue from the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development in the amount of $259,904.
Need a motion, second. Been moved by Councilman Carlson, seconded by Councilman Tabor. Any council discussion? Any public comments?
No, sir.
Let's vote.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Joint Ordinance 48, 2021, a joint ordinance of the Lafayette City Council and the Lafayette Parish Council, amending the fiscal year 2021 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing the use of prior year fund balance in Fund 550 in the amount of $125,000 and appropriating within the Public Works Department Environmental Quality Code Enforcement Division for additional funding needed for contractual services used for grass cutting and debris removal.
Need a motion, second. Been motioned by Councilman Tabor, seconded by Councilman Nakam. Any council discussion? Any public comment?
No, sir.
Let's vote.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved.
Announcement of vacancies on boards, commissions. Cindy, please read.
A vacancy will exist on the Lafayette Waterworks District South Board as of November 1st, 2021. This is a 5-year term. Applicants must be district residents. A vacancy will exist on the Lafayette Waterworks District North Board as of November 1st, 2021. This is a 5-year term. Applicants must be district residents. A vacancy will exist on the Lafayette Airport Commission as of November 1st, 2021. This is a 4-year term. Applicants must reside in the unincorporated area of the Parish of Lafayette. Individuals wishing to submit a resume for the above volunteer vacancies must be a registered voter and a resident of Lafayette Parish. Yearly ethics training for all appointees is required as is financial disclosure under certain circumstances. Resumes have to be forwarded to Veronica L. Williams, Clerk of the Council, P.O. Box 4017-C, Lafayette, Louisiana 70502, or email to bclafayette@lafayettela.gov no later than noon, Tuesday, August 17, 2021, with appointments to be made at the September 7, 2021 regular meeting of the Lafayette Parish Council. Resume submissions are public record.
Thank you. Consider appointment by the council as a whole to boards, commissions. Cindy, please read.
Appointment to the Lafayette Waterworks District South Board for a 5-year term effective October 1st, 2021. Applicants must be district residents.
The only resume we received for consideration is from Mr. John D. Touchette, and he is the incumbent. The floor is open for nominations. Okay, any other nominations? Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Then we will call for the vote on Mr. Touchette.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 1. Yes. District 2.
Yes.
John Touchette is appointed.
Appointments by council members, mayor, president, and/or other direct appointing authorities. Cindy, please read.
Mayor President Josh Guillory appointed Shelley Ramsey to the Awareness Committee for Citizens with Disabilities for a 1-year and 3-month term effective July 20th, 2021. The City Parish Alignment Commission appointments for 6-month terms effective the date of the first meeting are as follows. Brian Tabor was appointed by the Lafayette Parish Council as a whole. Nanette Cook was appointed by the Lafayette City Council from among their members. Charles Schilling II was appointed by the District 1 Lafayette Parish Council member. Kevin Knockan was appointed by the District 2 Lafayette Parish Council member. Joseph Reshore was appointed by the District 3 Lafayette Parish Council member. Paul Eason was appointed by the District 4 Lafayette Parish Council member. William Teeley was appointed by the District 5 Lafayette Parish Council member. Timothy Breaux was appointed by the Lafayette Mayor President. Purvis Morrison was appointed by the local area mayors as a whole.
Thank you. Introductory ordinances. I'll need a motion and second from the council to introduce ordinances items 23 through 27 in globo. Been moved by Councilman Knockan, seconded by Councilman Carlson. Cindy, please read.
Parish Ordinance 38, 2021, in order to the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 capital and operating budgets of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $1 million from contractual services to the Oak Springs Flood Control account within the Public Works Department for additional funding needed. Parish Ordinance 39, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 operating budget and capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $1,250,000 from reserve capital and appropriating within the Public Works Department Capital Improvements Division for additional funding needed for the Bayou Vermilion Flood Control Cooley-Ildacon project. Parish Ordinance 40, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 capital budget, Fund 261 of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $5,000 from the RPL 1TCR CAB 3YDDP DRW1, $4,000 from the RPL 1/2T Crew Cab Truck 2, $8,000 from the RPL 1TCR Cab DSL 3YDDP DRW1, and $5,000 from Rubber Track Excavator RPL 1 line items totaling $22,000 to 14YD Tandem Dump Truck RPL 3 line item to cover the purchase of 3 14YD Tandem Dump Trucks whose bid price exceeded the amount budgeted by the Drainage Department. Parish Ordinance 41, 2021, in ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $50,000 from AC replacement repairs to INTEXT renovations repairs for additional funding needed for the Health Unit Building Generator Project. Parish Ordinance 42, 2021, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 2021 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing revenues in the amount of $47,664.84 and appropriating within the Library Department for funds received from the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act for technology enhancements and library e-resources.
Thank you, Cindy. Any council discussion? Mr. Wiltz, any public comment?
No, sir.
Then I'll call for the vote to introduce in global items 23 through 27. Please vote.
District 4,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
The motion to introduce is approved.
joint introductory ordinances. Cindy, please read. Well, excuse me, before we do that. I need a motion and a second from the council to introduce ordinances items 29 through 30 in globo. Been moved by Councilman Tabor, seconded by Councilman Nakhan. Now, Ms. Cindy, please read.
Joint Ordinance 50, 2021, and Joint Ordinance of the Lafayette City Council and the Lafayette Parish Council, amending the fiscal year 2021 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by reappropriating the amount of $7,400 from Bridge Repairs Parish into 14 YD Tandem Dump Truck, RPL1. Joint Ordinance 51, 2021, a joint ordinance of the Lafayette City Council and the Lafayette Parish Council providing for the abandonment of a portion of a utility niche on Lot K-12 of the Village of River Ranch Phase 13B subdivision located at 405 Biltmore Way.
Any council discussion? Mr. Wilson, excuse me, Mr. Wilson, any public comment?
No, sir.
Then I call for the vote to introduce in global items 29 through 30.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
The motion to introduce in global is approved.
At this time, we have comments from the public. Again, this is for comments on anything that is not on the agenda, not on the agenda. This is the time to speak about topics relative to parish of Lafayette issues that are not included on the agenda. No debating, confrontational statements, or personal attacks will be allowed. Please keep it professional. Any interruption of this lawful assembly is prohibited and will not be tolerated. For efficiency and to allow everyone the opportunity to speak, questions should be submitted in writing to the Assistant Clerk of the Council, Mr. Wiltz. The 3-minute rule will be in effect. Mr. Wiltz, I call for Speaker 1.
Yes, sir. We have one speaker, Stephanie Skinner-Touchett.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skinner-Touchett, and I'm a homemaker, and I care about Acadiana. And I want to talk about the mask mandate. I'm really nervous about that, mayor and council members, because it's unconstitutional in the mask, state rights and our parish rights, and we have more say-so than federal rights. You know, our state rights matter more. And so the governor's saying this, it's unconstitutional, okay? So we don't have to wear the mask. And the mask, they found Fauci's emails. In Fauci's emails years ago, he said that the mask spreads disease and it doesn't work. The virus is 5,000 times smaller than the gap in the mask that we're wearing. I mean, they don't work. And what it does is it inhibits our oxygen intake. And so why are we wearing them when they don't work? It's unconstitutional. We don't have Sharia law. I mean, so why are we wearing them? And no one's really sick, and it's just, that makes me real nervous. And are they gonna put them on our children in school? Because it socially retards them for 8 hours a day in the mask. We're gonna have a whole generation of depressed kids without proper brain development because they're not getting oxygen to their little faces. And kids aren't likely to get COVID. People aren't dropping dead around in the streets. Why are they making us wear the mask? If there was really a danger, people would be wearing masks. And a lot of these masks that you say you have boxes of them, on the box it says they don't work. It says will not protect against these diseases. And then people are inhaling toxic chemicals, cancer-causing chemicals in those box masks. So, I mean, the whole thing, it's just really disturbing to me. And why is Mr. Rubin, he can't come? I mean, since when do we quarantine healthy people? And just because he was around somebody with COVID, that makes him a leper? Why does he have to stay away? Are we going to start doing that because somebody has a cold? You know, I mean, the whole thing is fraudulent, it's nerve-wracking, it's unconstitutional, and it's not real science. There's other doctors out there, like the frontline doctors that are coming out in droves, and there's been a lot of studies on the mask, and the mask doesn't work. And so are we going to have that option in Acadiana not to wear the mask in here? You said that you recommend it, but you're not going to mandate it? Because you don't have to do what the governor says, sir. You know, you don't. We as a community can come together and we can do the right thing. But I appreciate your advice for telling people to, you know, get in touch with their doctor, but people can also get a nature doctor. If they really cared about saving lives, they'd give everybody vitamin D and zinc for some pennies a day, you know, instead of all this locking down and this and that. It's medical tyranny. We have a problem, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Wilson, any other speakers?
No, sir.
Hold on. Okay. Mr. Nakam.
Mr. Mayor President, in light of the governor's mask mandate, can you tell me how that's going to affect entertainment?
So,
I just, it's hard to sing with a mask on or.
No, I agree.
And
I'm
fellow
with you.
musicians are texting me as you
Nobody wants to
mentioned
hear him
earlier.
sing anyway.
Oh, no.
Easy,
We want to hear.
Easy now.
We wanna hear you. So as of right now, a couple thoughts on that. So as from an entertainment venue, most entertainment venues that you play in and your colleagues play in are governed by the state in the sense that you have to have an alcohol license or a license to sell alcohol. A lot of times you have to have a license to sell food. So no matter what I say, I have no jurisdiction to be the state order. So, but as of right now, it's my understanding the governor has not issued any kind of capacity limits or banned any kind of activity in his executive order. I will say if you compare the current emergency order to the previous emergency orders, there are some slight differences. We mentioned one earlier. It's for indoors only, and it's for people that cannot be more than 6 feet apart. So a councilman and I are 6 feet apart, so I don't have to wear my mask. But in this joint meeting, as you're going to see, I'm going to put my mask on because the medical doctors that I trust say that that is a good idea under these circumstances. But to my friend's point over there, I appreciate the compliment. Everyone, go talk to a healthcare provider that you trust, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a juris doctor, but I'm not a medical doctor. I do not know what these guys and gals know they went to school for, but we all have a healthcare provider that we can rely on. Go talk to her or him. Ask the questions that you have. Make a good decision. Make a responsible decision for yourself, for your family, and for our community. And go watch Kevin Nakam play some music.
I got a sneaky feeling it won't last too long, but I mean, it's a good point. I guess, you know, if you are playing indoors, you know, I'm not advocating, I'm not speaking either way. The governor issued his deal, and I have no comment other than the fact that I am in the medical field, and I can tell you, from a professional standpoint, if you're not in the medical field and you don't watch the news, you would definitely think it's not bad. But I work for a great company called U.S. Med-Equip, and nationally, we are running out of BiPAPs and ventilators. Florida looks like a third world country, 1,400 patients in hallways, not enough patient monitors. And my company's one of maybe 3 or 4 that supplies the whole United States. Manufacturers are not opening up, making more BiPAPs and ventilators. So, you know, I predicted about 4 weeks ago, I started calling some hospitals and letting them know, hey, if you're thinking you're going to need it, the numbers are starting to spike, we need to do something. It's bad. I mean, I'm turned down 50 to 60 hospitals a day for the last 4 days. We're working around the clock to try to get as much equipment as we can, but so I definitely understand the governor's mask mandate, and I would tell the public to definitely be safe and try to make smart decisions. I'm not telling you what you should do or you shouldn't do, kind of like you, but it's 3 different strands, so it's a little bit different than the first go-around. So just be cautious out there and try to make a smart decision. And if you don't have God on your side, you might want to change that thought process, because we need him every day, but especially right now. But that's all I got to say about that. I'll forward it to my colleagues. But as far as we know, if you're indoors and you can't be 6 feet away, you got to have the mask.
Per the governor's order, correct. And there's no capacity limits at this time. There's definitely no local capacity limits, but the governor did not restrict that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, before I join, I just want to offer my congratulations, Mr. Wiltz, Assistant Clerk. First time in 8 years that he's been able to sit in that hot seat over there, and did a good job getting us through this meeting. So congratulations. Not to mention the staff around you that really has helped you as well. So congratulations and thanks. Okay, I adjourn this meeting.